What's up, Cules? And welcome back to the channel, your ultimate source for all things FC Barcelona. It's your host, your name/channel name, and trust me, the energy in here is absolutely electric today because we've got a load of massive news to unpack. We're talking about heated derbies, shocking chants, crucial transfer dilemmas, key player returns, and even a trip down memory lane to relive some truly iconic moments. The new year is kicking off with a bang, and our beloved Barça is right at the heart of it all. From the intense build-up to our first match of 2026 against our crosstown rivals, Espanyol, to the critical decisions being made behind the scenes about potential incomings and player well-being, there's never a dull moment when you support the greatest club in the world. We'll be diving deep into the disturbing reports surrounding Joan Garcia's return to his former club, analyzing the squad list, dissecting potential lineups, and getting the latest on Joao Cancelo's potential dramatic return to the Camp Nou. Plus, we've got an exciting update on a young talent joining our ranks and even a legendary former Real Madrid assistant coach reflecting on the sheer dominance of Pep Guardiola's Barça era. Oh, that's going to be sweet. So grab your favorite Barça kit, settle in, and let's get right into it. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, because you won't want to miss a single second of this absolute rollercoaster of a show. Visca el Barça, and let's go. Alright Cules, let's kick things off with what's guaranteed to be one of the most explosive Catalan derbies in recent memory, our clash against Espanyol. Now, the derby is always spicy, but this one, it's got extra layers of intensity. For starters, both teams are genuinely flying high. We're sitting pretty at the top of La Liga, as we should be, and Espanyol are surprisingly strong in 5th place. So, from a sporting perspective, it's a high-stakes game. But the real fire, the absolute inferno, is surrounding Joan Garcia. Our new goalkeeper, Joan, was an Espanyol star last season, and he made the forbidden move across town to Barcelona to chase his dream, and honestly, who can blame him? Every player wants to play for the biggest club in Catalonia, the biggest club in the world. But the Espanyol faithful? They are not happy, and that's an understatement. The RCDE stadium is going to be a cauldron of hostility for Joan, and while we understand rivalries and a bit of banter, some of their fans are crossing a serious line. We've seen videos circulating, and the chants are absolutely deplorable. Chants like "We want Joan's head" are not just disrespectful, they are dangerous and completely unacceptable. Wishing death on a player, no matter how much you disagree with their professional decision, has no place in football. It's disgusting. The club, to their credit, is aware of the potential for things to escalate, and they've reportedly set up nets behind the goal to protect Joan from projectiles. But honestly, even with extra security, this kind of hatred needs to be condemned. From Joan's perspective, he's fully aware of the storm heading his way. He knows this will be his toughest game yet, mentally and emotionally. But you know what? He's a professional, he's a Cules now, and he's ready to face it head on. This isn't just about 3 points anymore, it's about making a statement, about showing resilience, and about proving that you made the right choice. We're behind you, Joan. This is the kind of game that forges legends. Let's hope he can silence the haters with a world-class performance. This is more than just a match, it's a battle of wills, and our boy Joan is right in the middle of it. What are your thoughts, Cules? Do you think the chants have gone too far? Next up, Cules, let's talk about a name that just keeps popping up in the January transfer window, Joao Cancelo. Our former lone star from last season is making waves, reportedly desperate to return to Barcelona. He's currently at Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, but with the 2026 FIFA World Cup on his radar, he's keen to get back to Europe and play at the highest level. And naturally, his heart is set on a return to his beloved Barça. We all remember how fantastic he was for us last season, providing that much-needed dynamism and quality at right back. The guy bleeds Blaugrana, and honestly, who wouldn't want him back? However, as always with Barça, it's not that straightforward. While the club has been in contact with his super agent, Jorge Mendes, because, let's be real, Mendes is always involved, there are significant doubts, primarily revolving around his hefty salary. Cancelo's earning a staggering €15 million in Saudi Arabia, a figure that's just impossible for us to match right now, given our ongoing financial fair play complexities. It's a bitter pill to swallow, knowing a player of his caliber wants to be here, but the finances are a huge hurdle. This situation has escalated to the point where our president, Joan Laporta, is reportedly holding a crucial meeting with sporting director Deco and head coach Hansi Flick to make a final decision on Cancelo. They know he's waiting for us to make a move, but they also have to consider the bigger picture. We can only afford to replace one player within FFP rules right now, and that's Andreas Christensen, who is a centre-back. Ideally, we'd look for a like-for-like replacement in that position. So, do we prioritize a natural centre-back, or do we bring back Cancelo, who could solve our right-back depth issue and relieve Eric Garcia from that backup role? It's a tough call. On one hand, Cancelo's return would be a massive boost, giving us genuine quality and experience. On the other, his salary and the FFP limitations are real. It's a delicate balancing act for the club bosses, and we'll have to wait and see what they decide. What do you think, Cules? Is Cancelo worth the financial gymnastics, or should we prioritize other positions? Alright, Cules, switching gears to some fantastic news ahead of the Espanyol Derby. Our beloved head coach, Hansi Flick, has officially announced the squad list, and there are some huge positives to talk about. The biggest headlines? Pedri and Dani Olmo are back. Both key midfielders have received the medical green light and are ready to return to action. Pedri, our golden boy, had a minor discomfort that kept him out of the last game of 2025, but he's mounted a swift recovery, thank goodness. And Dani Olmo, who's been sidelined for a month with a dislocated shoulder, has also made a sensational comeback to the squad. This is absolutely massive for us, especially heading into such a high-intensity derby. Their creativity, vision, and ability to control the midfield are going to be absolutely crucial. However, it's not all sunshine and rainbows on the injury front. Ronald Araujo, a rock at the back, is still not quite ready to return, despite having trained with the squad. He's continuing to focus on his mental health recovery, which we completely support. His well-being comes first, always. We'll talk more about that in a bit. Andreas Christensen is unfortunately out for the long haul with a partial ACL tear, which is a massive blow, and Gavi, our fiery pitbull, is still about a month away from making his comeback. So, while we're thrilled to see Pedri and Olmo return, we're still feeling the absence of some major defensive pillars in our midfield warrior. On a positive note for the future, Rooney Bargi is fit and available, which is great, and Flick has also called up some exciting youngsters, Joao Torres, Dro, and Tommy Marks. It's always fantastic to see our academy talents getting a taste of the first-team environment, and who knows, maybe one of them will make an impact. Overall, the return of Pedri and Olmo gives us a significant boost in quality and options in the middle of the park, which is exactly what we need for a tough away derby. Let's hope they can hit the ground running and help us secure those crucial 3 points to start 2026 on a winning note. What a relief to see those names back on the list. What impact do you think Pedri and Olmo will have on the game, Cules? Cules, I have to address this again because the situation surrounding Joan Garcia's return to Espanyol is escalating to deeply disturbing levels. We just talked about the hostile chants, but new reports from IMC Sport indicate that some Espanyol ultras are planning a protest that is genuinely shocking and beyond the pale. They are reportedly planning to throw rats onto the field. Yes, you heard that right, live rats. This isn't just about rivalry anymore, it's about animal cruelty and creating a genuinely dangerous and disgusting environment. This is taking things way too far. The report even details a chilling anecdote about a vendor in Barcelona being asked by fans for advice on how to obtain rats over a month ago, showing the premeditated nature of this abhorrent plan. This immediately brings back dark memories of the infamous Luis Figo incident, where a pig's head was thrown at him during a Clásico. But even that, as outrageous as it was, didn't involve live animals or the intent to cause harm to them. This goes beyond the bounds of acceptable fan behavior and enters a realm of pure malice. The backlash against Garcia started even before his transfer was official, with insulting messages appearing in his hometown. 7 months later, the hatred has clearly festered, and it's truly alarming. While rivalry is a part of football, threatening a player with such vile acts is a direct attack on the integrity and spirit of the sport itself. It's not passion, it's pure toxicity. To their credit, Espanyol as a club has been working closely with Spanish police for weeks to put security measures in place. They've issued stern warnings to supporters about severe sanctions, including fines or stadium closures, if serious incidents occur. Several items will be banned from the stadium, which is a necessary step. However, it's a telling detail that banknotes printed with Garcia's face, which were ideas circulating online, will not be prohibited. While that's far less serious than live animals, it still highlights the organized nature of this targeted harassment. All eyes will be on the RCDE stadium tonight, hoping that these preventive measures are enough to avert what could be an incredibly ugly and unforgettable incident for all the wrong reasons. This is a moment where the entire football community needs to stand united against such extreme behavior. My heart goes out to Joan Garcia, who has to go through this. Visca el Barça and protect our players. Okay, Cules, let's get into the exciting part, how our beloved Barça is likely to line up against Espanyol tonight. This is our first game of 2026, and we're looking to start the new year with a bang, extending our lead at the top of La Liga. We're coming in with a 7-game winning streak since that Chelsea defeat, and with Pedri and Dani Olmo back, the momentum is certainly with us. However, the hostile atmosphere at RCDE Stadium and the Joan Garcia situation will definitely add an extra layer of challenge. But we're Barcelona, we thrive under pressure. All eyes, of course, will be on Joan Garcia in goal. It's his biggest test yet, returning to his former home, and he'll need to keep his composure amidst the expected storm of jeers and chants. He's strong, and he'll shine. In defense, Jules Koundé will slot in at right back, as usual, his minor discomfort after the Villarreal game proving to be nothing serious. On the left, Alejandro Balde will provide his explosive pace and attacking threat. At the heart of our defense, the sensational Paul Cubarsi is a permanent fixture now. What a talent. He'll be partnered by Gerard Martin, who has been absolutely excelling in his new role as the left-sided centre-back. Our young guns are stepping up. Moving into midfield, the return of Pedri is monumental. He's recovered from his minor discomfort, and he will undoubtedly start. The big question is who partners him. Hansi Flick will likely choose between Frenkie de Jong and Eric Garcia. My money, and the reports suggest, is on Eric Garcia, who has been absolutely brilliant as a pivot midfielder. He's adapted incredibly well to that role and has given Flick no reason to drop him. Up front as the attacking midfielder, we'll see Fermin Lopez, hoping to carry on his strong form from 2025. He's got that drive and goal threat. On the bench, we'll have strong options like Marc Bernal, Marc Casado, and Dani Olmo, ready to make an impact. And finally, our attack. Ferran Torres has truly found his stride and has firmly overtaken Robert Lewandowski as the preferred starter in the number 9 position. He's expected to lead the line tonight. On the flanks, there's simply no looking beyond the electrifying Raphinha and the prodigious Lamine Yamal. Lamine trained normally after a minor discomfort, so he's good to go. Marcus Rashford, a strong option off the bench, will be itching to get on. This lineup looks strong, balanced, and ready to take on the derby. What do you think of this potential 11, Cules? Let me know in the comments if you'd make any changes. Visca el Barça. Now for some exciting news about the future, Cules. Barcelona is reportedly on the verge of securing one of Egyptian football's most promising young talents, Hamza Abdelkarim. According to Sport, this operation has entered its decisive phase, and it sounds like a brilliant move for our long-term vision. Hamza is set to renew his contract with Ahly before making a loan move to Barcelona, with an option to buy. This is exactly the kind of smart recruitment we love to see from our sporting department, identifying raw talent and nurturing them within our system. The structure of the deal is quite intriguing. Hamza will first sign a new 4-year contract with Ahly. This is a clever move from the Egyptian club to protect their assets, ensuring that if he returns after the loan, they still hold his rights. Negotiations between the player and Ahly are reportedly at an advanced stage, with all parties confident an agreement will be reached soon. This renewal is a crucial precursor to his temporary departure to Barcelona, showing that both clubs are aligned on making this work for the player's development. And here's where it gets even more exciting for us, the financial details. Barcelona will have an option to sign Abdelkarim permanently for a fixed fee of €1.5 million once his loan spell ends in June. But it doesn't stop there. The agreement includes up to €5 million in performance-based variables. These bonuses would be linked to significant sporting milestones, like appearances with our first team, goals scored, and other performance objectives. Crucially, these variables aren't limited to a single season, they extend across the duration of his potential long-term contract at Camp Nou. This structure shows that we're investing in his potential, and if he performs well, he could become a fantastic asset for years to come. It's a low-risk, high-reward type of deal that aligns perfectly with our philosophy of developing young talent. We love seeing the club looking to the future and securing these hidden gems. Could Hamza Abdelkarim be the next big star to emerge from La Masia or our B team? Only time will tell, but this is definitely a player to keep an eye on. What do you think of this signing, Cules? Are you excited to see more young talent join the ranks? Circling back to Joao Cancelo, Cules, because there's an update, and honestly, it's a bit bittersweet for us fans. Fabrizio Romano, the king of transfer news, is reporting that Cancelo is still holding out hope for a return to Barcelona. He's eagerly waiting for us to make an approach, and you know what? We'd absolutely love to have him back. His short loan spell with us in 2023-24 showcased his immense talent and his genuine love for the Blaugrana shirt. He never hid his affection for the club, and that resonates deeply with us. However, despite his desire and our club's initial inquiries with Jorge Mendes, it's looking increasingly unlikely that Cancelo will be making a dramatic comeback this January. While Inter Milan is actively working on a deal with Mendes and Al Hilal to bring him back to Italy, Cancelo's heart seems to be set on Barcelona. But the cold, hard reality of our financial situation continues to be the biggest roadblock. As we discussed, his hefty salary in Saudi Arabia is simply impossible for Barcelona to match right now. We're still navigating those tricky financial fair play rules, and every euro counts. Beyond the salary, there's also the issue of total consensus within the club. While his quality is undeniable, some reports suggest not everyone at the club is fully convinced about making a move for him right now, especially when the priority is reportedly to sign a new central defender. With Andreas Christensen out long-term, that central defensive position is a more pressing need. So, even though Cancelo is patiently waiting, and we as fans would probably welcome him back with open arms, it appears a return to Camp Nou is pretty much ruled out for this transfer window. It's a real shame, as he offers so much on that right flank, but the club has to make tough decisions based on financial realities and overall squad balance. We have to trust Laporta, Deco, and Flick to make the right choices for the long-term health of the club. What a missed opportunity, or perhaps a necessary sacrifice. Let me know your thoughts on this, Cules. Before we wrap up our derby discussion, let's take a thrilling trip down memory lane and revisit some of the wildest, most unforgettable moments from the Barcelona Espanyol derby. These matches are never just about football, they're emotional rollercoasters, filled with tension, drama, and sometimes, incredible displays of humanity. Let's start with a moment that truly transcended rivalry, Andrés Iniesta. 14 years ago, Iniesta scored that World Cup winning goal, and his celebration melted hearts worldwide. He lifted his shirt to reveal a message honoring his late friend and Espanyol captain, Dani Joc, always with us. That gesture of pure class, empathy, and respect resonated deeply, even with Espanyol supporters. Fast forward to December 2010, when we crushed them 5-1 at their stadium. The stadium, despite the scoreline, rose to applaud Iniesta. An absolute goosebump moment, showcasing how respect can indeed transcend even the fiercest rivalries. What a legend, what a human being. Now, if Iniesta represented respect, Gerard Piqué embodied the fiery, intense side of this derby. Few Barcelona players were targeted as relentlessly as Piqué by Espanyol fans. The tension peaked around 2016, with banners and chants directed at his family, crossing all lines of decency. But Piqué, being Piqué, always had the last laugh. 2 years later, he scored a crucial equalizer in a cup derby at the RCDE stadium and famously put a finger to his lips, silencing the hostile crowd. Chaos erupted, both on and off the pitch. His explanation? Insulting my family is disrespectful. Telling people to be quiet is part of the game. Pure Piqué. You either loved him or you hated him, but you could never ignore him. That's the derby spirit. And finally, Cules, some sweet recent history, winning league titles on hostile ground. Fate has been incredibly kind to us in recent visits to the RCDE stadium. Our last 2 La Liga titles were both sealed with victories at Espanyol's home. In 2022-23, Xavi led us to a 4-2 win, mathematically clinching the league. Our players tried to celebrate, forming a circle, but Espanyol fans invaded the pitch, forcing our squad to sprint to the dressing room. And then, the very next season, under Hansi Flick, we clinched it again with a 2-0 win. Flick, learning from the previous year, made sure celebrations stayed strictly in the dressing room, even ushering players off the pitch when the sprinklers came on. These moments, both of respect and intense rivalry, are what make the Catalan Derby so special. It's truly ingrained in our club's history. What's your favorite derby memory, Cules? Let me know. Cules, let's talk about Ronald Araujo, our defensive heavyweight, and an important update regarding his situation. He recently resumed training with the squad after being out for about a month, having taken time off since late November to deal with mental health issues. This came after that incredibly tough UCL defeat to Chelsea, where he was sent off in the first half. There was no set deadline for his return, and the club, rightly so, has prioritized his well-being above all else. We fully support Araujo taking all the time he needs. Mental health in professional sports is paramount, and it's commendable that he's openly addressing it. While he has completed 5 training sessions this week, and the general feeling around his situation has been largely positive, Mundo Deportivo reports that Araujo has informed Hansi Flick that he is still not ready to return to playing. He still doesn't feel fully prepared to make his comeback on the field for the Blaugrana as he continues to work on his mental well-being. This means his involvement in today's derby against Espanyol was already ruled out, and his presence for the upcoming Spanish Super Cup trip to Saudi Arabia also remains uncertain. A final decision will be made based on how he feels in the coming days, but the club has absolutely no intention of rushing him back. His long-term health, both mental and physical, is what matters most. Araujo's absence is, of course, a huge blow to our defense. He's a leader, a rock, and his presence is always felt. This situation, combined with Andreas Christensen being out for an extended period due to a partial ACL tear, really highlights our defensive vulnerabilities right now. It makes perfect sense that Barcelona is looking to sign a new defender in this transfer window to provide much-needed reinforcement and depth. While we miss him desperately on the pitch, we applaud Ronald for his strength and honesty. We wish him all the very best in his recovery and send him all our love and support. Your health is your wealth, Ronald, and we'll be here waiting for you when you're truly ready. Get well soon, our warrior. Visca el Barça. Alright, Cules, let's end this episode on a sweet note that will definitely put a smile on your face. We're talking about the legendary dominance of Pep Guardiola's Barcelona over Real Madrid, a chapter in football history that still gives us chills. And guess who's reflecting on it? None other than former Real Madrid assistant coach Aitor Karanka, speaking on Iker Casillas' podcast. Oh, this is pure gold. Karanka revisited those brutal Clásico encounters, including the iconic 2-6 thrashing at the Santiago Bernabéu and the unforgettable 5-0 demolition at Camp Nou in 2010. You know, the one where we made them look like a training cone drill. Casillas himself opened the conversation by bringing up the intense run of 4 consecutive Clásicos in May 2011, and directly asked Karanka if they were truly prepared for that onslaught. And what was Karanka's candid admission? Looking back now, maybe not. He suggested that better preparation could have changed the outcome of some results. Ah, a sweet taste of victory. He continued to reflect, saying, looking at it with perspective, you think that maybe there were some bad things, but also some very good things. But after 15 years, people still remember those Clásicos. And he's absolutely right. Those games weren't just wins, they were masterclasses, defining moments that showcased the pure brilliance of Guardiola's philosophy and our incredible players. They were moments that humbled our biggest rivals and instilled fear in every opponent. Karanka also admitted that mistakes were made and that Madrid was still a team in transition when Barcelona hit its peak. It happens in the third year, or the second. But it happened as soon as we arrived, he noted. This acknowledgement from within the Real Madrid camp itself is the ultimate validation of just how overwhelming and unstoppable that Barcelona side truly was. While Real Madrid did manage to snatch the Copa del Rey during that period thanks to a Cristiano Ronaldo goal, it was a mere blip in a period of unprecedented Barcelona dominance. It just goes to show you, Cules, the legacy of that team continues to resonate, even among our rivals, who still look back in awe, and perhaps a little bit of pain, at the sheer footballing superiority we displayed. It's a proud moment to be a Cule when even the opposition admits they were simply outclassed. What a time to be alive, and what a team that was. We'll never forget it. Visca el Barça and long live the memories. Phew. What an episode, Cules. We've covered everything from the intense pre-derby drama and the shocking chants targeting Joan Garcia, to the hopeful returns of Pedri and Olmo, the complex Cancelo transfer saga, and even a glorious trip down memory lane to bask in Guardiola's legendary era. The world of FC Barcelona is never boring, and that's exactly why we love this club so much. Tonight's derby is going to be an emotional and physical battle, and we'll be cheering on our boys every step of the way. Let's hope for a dominant performance, 3 points, and a dignified start to 2026 for our club. Before you go, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the latest Barca news, please show your support by smashing that like button. It really helps the channel grow and lets us know you want more of this content. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. We've got so much more exciting Barca content coming your way, including post-match reactions, transfer analyses, and all the latest updates from the Camp Nou. Share your thoughts on all the topics we discussed today in the comments below. I love reading your opinions and engaging with the best fanbase in the world. Thank you so much for tuning in, Cules. Until next time, remember, Visca el Barça y Visca Catalunya.